seconder for the Donabate motion, 81, formally seconded. We move on now to motion 82, to be moved by the Selbridge branch, Kildare North.
Darragh O'Neill, Selbridge branch, Kildare North. Delegates, in 2007, when our debt-to-GDP ratio was 25%, only 3.8% of tax revenues collected were spent on servicing the national debt. In 2011, the Irish Exchequer spent $5.4 billion on servicing the national debt, representing 14.7% of tax revenues collected. Highlighting the importance of fiscal sustainability and fiscal stability, this year, according to Department of Finance estimates, $7.4 billion, representing 19.45% of tax revenues collected, will be allocated towards debt servicing costs and not towards more productive uses. Our government is forecasting that our debt-to-GDP ratio will peak next year at 119%, 1% higher than the IMF estimate of 118%. However, if economic growth and economic activity in our nation continues to stagnate, it is forecasted by a recent IMF report that come 2016 our debt-to-GDP ratio will exceed 138% of GDP. The promissory note arrangement as it currently stands is going to add about 20% on to our national debt, and the annual payment of $3.1 billion will exceed 2% of GDP every year until 2023. As the current arrangement stands, by 2031, over €47 billion will have been spent on this current arrangement. Now, unfortunately, there's a lot of political resistance to this in Europe, and any form of debt write-down is unlikely at this point. It is likely to meet fierce political opposition within the ECB's governing council. There's a lot of discussion in the media as well about cuts to the interest rate. That's actually irrelevant because it's one arm of the state paying it back. Now, as the ELA funding is repaid, it's taken into the central bank and it is effectively retired or taken out of the system. Regretfully, there are very few options available to the government at this point. But one thing they can do, and I would like to acknowledge the work of Brendan Howlin and our Finance Minister, because they've one very tough job to do, and that is to try lengthen out the payments over a longer period of time.
Can you conclude now, please?
It won't trigger a credit event, and it will seriously enhance the debt sustainability of this nation. Thank you, delegates.
Thanks.